I started in '94 when I lived at Roxby Downs. We had a Clean Up Australia Day and I was waiting for someone else to organise it and it didn't get organised. And then I realised, I think, that sometimes you have to actually do something yourself. I did look for a friends group that was relevant to Ledge Point, and there wasn't one, and I thought, well, there'll never be one unless someone makes one. And I've seen the issue. I thought I'd seen the need, and I could see that these pathways, and I heard about the number of people coming here, and the projections were with the Indian Ocean Drive going through that it would just increase, and the beach was already suffering. So that's why I started making inquiries. So I emailed some people, a person in West Midland, and he put me on to Kiara and the NAC because Ledge Point comes under their umbrella.
Yeah.
So, and following up through with Kiara and found out about Coast West and grants, and looked into what I would have to do to, basically I wanted to join another group, but a group didn't exist, so I had to start my own group effectively.
Yep.
And I went to the Ledge Point Community Association, and I got Kiara to come down, and she met with the association, and we explained how communities can apply for grants.
Yep.
And it went from there.
Yeah, so with the Coastcare group, what activities have you carried out?
The fencing was done for us because it needed expertise that we didn't have in the group. The group itself does the weeding, and we had a lovely planting day, which was very, very good.
And how many people did you have at that?
I had 30 people. I was quite impressed. We had families come because I had jobs for the kids, and the kids filled up the water bottles because we don't have any water close by, and their dad took the wheelbarrow, and then the kids carried the water bottles to the workers, and it actually worked out really well. The fencing was good because it defined the project, where the locals have I used to do market days and had the information at the market days and the maps so people could see from the maps, but until they saw something on the ground it was hard for them to picture it. So having the fence go in, it gave the Shire contractors a part to work to as well. Gave us where we were going to plant the trees, and it helps us look after. Basically it defined the paths, and the visitors that come to the town had a lot of trouble with finding the beach because you can't see it from this side of the sand dune. So it also helped the visitors with they knew where to walk, so they stayed off of the sand dunes that we're rehabilitating, and it's taken a lot of the pressure away from some of the areas that were getting quite bare. I think the value of the sand dunes is protection for any infrastructure on the inside, protection against the wind, for people wanting to use the beach. They can be behind the dune, get protection from that breeze.
How about storm surges?
Well, part of our actual project is been rehabilitated after a big storm, and it took out the car park. I think a house even had to be moved because the sand wasn't there and the plants, vegetation had changed over time. With the Northern Agricultural Catchment Council, they have then been able to offer me a lot of advice and a lot of expertise. And the odd coastal guru has been able to come through and tell you what's feasible, what will work, what won't work, and so you don't waste your energy. Funding that we've been able to access has come, we've had Coast West funding, And we've been able to get from NAC, we've been able to get some funding, they call it devolved grant funding, is that?
Yeah.
Plus then we've also had money which we've then used to pay for another contractor or another expert to come and offer us advice. More catchmen have been helpful. They were my original point of call. They put me on to the other experts that I could use. So that meant we could split into several different groups because Rachel she knew what she was doing, she could go over with these people that didn't know what they were doing and guide them. Really, Rachel's our closest representative and able to come down for any of our meetings and work days. Someone you can just ring up to just for advice, knows the area, knows what I'm talking about. You don't have to start afresh every time you've got a question. That works well.